Hey Liz and Ross, this is Austin. I wanted to put something together for you. Liz was asking me about what we do differently, and I wanted to share some things for you. So I put together this report. I hope that you find it helpful. I hope that you find some of the data that I put together for you today useful. Um, I did go back to the National Association of Realtors and the Texas Association of Realtors, as well as HAR, and updated some of my statistics for you today. Um, I know that the decision to list your home with any agent, especially us, is a major life decision. Uh, we list homes quite frequently. We never take that lightly. I had a client today who reminded me of how um, emotionally difficult it was for her to sell her house. Um, I really try to understand that as a two-time homeowner. It is a very difficult thing. There's a lot of maybe unknowns or uncertainties that can go with that. Um, and I find that the harder I work to understand what my clients are going through, the better I'm able to serve them. Liz was asking about our marketing strategy. We're going to go through a couple of points. One of the first things that we find is critical with our marketing strategy is the presentation, is the staging. Larissa Bodick is a member of our team who's an independent stager. She's not a realtor, she's a stager. We pay for her services. We pay her for doing consultations with our clients. So she'll come in and if it could be just arranging things a certain way, or if there's certain items that need to be addressed or given attention to, she's really better at that than I am. I can look at a property and see, tell you what's selling, what's not selling, but she knows the psychology behind staging. More times than not, things need to be removed. I can tell you that. Sometimes things need to be added, and we do have access to different, like furniture. That's probably not going to be the case for you. The second most important thing, I'm going to share some data. Professional photography is probably, I would say it's the most important element of selling a house, believe it or not. And we're basing this on stats that the National Association of Realtors, this is one of our listings. We use drone photography for a lot of our listings. We use 3 different filters on our camera. We can, if you are interested in photography, I can go into more detail about that, but we do multiple exposure photography to really bring out the rich dark tones as well as bright vivid tones in the same picture, some outdoor tones. Um, we do focus on print media. This is not the most effective form of marketing, but we don't want to leave any um, stone unturned. So we have a network of print strategies that we use. Um, Popper flyers, we're probably going to get more response from these. Um, just keeping these in the front yard. I did pick up your property flyer when I was by your property last week. We really try to include high resolution colored photos, really clear. But we don't want to give away too much with these because we want prospective clients to we want to strike their curiosity. So we do want them to call us and set an appointment and try to get into the house. We found if we give away too much, they'll make up their mind, and we don't necessarily want them to make a decision based on a flyer, but we do want to use those flyers to lead them um, uh, to asking for more information. Same thing with postcard and mailings. We do spend some money on some marketing um, websites that will help us get the information to the neighborhood and to to the community, and we'll send these. We find that if the neighbors know about a house coming up. Sometimes they will have family members or somebody they know that might be interested in a house. So we do try to take advantage of that. Usually, if you have good neighbors, they're pretty helpful. Also, they can give us a lot more information about the neighborhood. Um, if they're happy living there, we want to know what makes them happy. The more information we have, the better. And then, of course, technology. It's 2018. We're about to go into 2019. Technology is critical. Um, we use videos for our marketing, YouTube, Vimeo. We use Playster. We'll put these videos on our website, and starting there, we can put these videos out on any social media platform, email as well. This is one of our videos. This is a drone photography right here. We do hire a professional drone photographer. We'll shoot those out over there, so you can see how much time we do take and how much care we take with presenting the house in its best form. So that's just a preview of that. I can send you the rest of that video if you're interested. As far as internet marketing, we found, it's good to be on a few websites, but it's better to be everywhere. And with Keller Williams, we do have the muscle. Once we post something on HAR.com, we have the resources that will feed those listings. And we talked about this a little bit today, Liz on the phone, to Zillow. A lot of people are looking at Zillow, and between Zillow and HAR.com, that's the majority where people are looking, but there's other places as well. And so we try to be there. We're talking about social media. The statistics on Facebook are pretty interesting because the majority of users are between the ages of 25 and 34. I know that's not the average age of a person looking for a $1.34 million house. However, what we're finding is that, or what statistics are showing us is that the older buyers are using Facebook a lot more now, and that statistic is rising. So in the next 12 to 24 months, we'll see the 35 to 45 age group pass the 25 to 34 age group. Already, the older age groups, 35 to 45, as well as 45 to 55, have surpassed the 17 to 25 age group. The younger buyers, first-time home buyers, they're more on Instagram right now. So it's just something interesting. Are we guaranteeing that we're going to get a buyer from Facebook? Absolutely not. But we do want to create as much awareness of our properties as possible. This is pretty cool. We do have a program that enables us to put together an individual property website. So we would create 2402glenhaven.com, and we would drive traffic that way. Then there's some other extended market research that I want to share with you. Our knowledge with this information helps us to really focus on what works the best. So, for instance, you may see an open house, and this is personally for me, this is a strength of mine. I've sold multiple houses this year just from open houses. That's not typical from the average agent. Of course, every agent, when they do an open house, they're going to put a sign in the yard, but and then the balloons and maybe the little windmills. I try to put out, anywhere from 30 to 50 yard signs for an open house. I find by doing that, sending out flyers the week before, we'll put ads on. We'll do local targeting ads. Google and Facebook enables us to do that, so we'll target. We're not going to target the entire city of Houston, but we'll target the area and other areas that are similar. We have 2 virtual assistants in the Philippines. They're going to pull everyone's phone number up in the neighborhood, and they're going to call them, and they're going to invite them to the open house. We're going to do a raffle, give away a gift card, maybe serve some drinks or something, just to get the neighborhood there. We found if we can if we can get some of the neighbors involved, then it really builds momentum for building more traffic. Um, we'll probably do 2 or 3 days in one week of an open house. So we're not just going to do like a 1 to 3, but we might do 11 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday, and the 3 to 6 on Friday before. In addition to that, I actually have a listing in the neighborhood coming up, so we'll be able to do open houses in other houses. So we found that we're able to uh, by having multiple open houses at different homes, we're able to bring buyers, show them multiple homes. They may not always buy the home they meet us at the open house, but if we can do more open houses in the area, it really helps. So those are a few things that we do marketing wise. Um, Keller Williams obviously is the number one player. It's the big name um, in the game right now. We are the fastest growing real estate company in North America. As of 2018, we're number one globally. We just recently passed our um, competitors. We're the largest independent real estate franchise on the planet. We have 177,000 real estate consultants, and by the end of 2019, we project a growth of 300,000. We have 805 offices worldwide. We have dozens in just the Houston area alone. We don't have as much as our competitors. That's because our offices are bigger. This morning we had an office meeting of 150 agents. I stood up in front of the agents and said, I have, these particular properties coming out. So be able to stand up in front of that many agents and share information on a property, that networking is very, very powerful. And we've had several houses sold in the last few months just networking with other agents. Houses that weren't even on the market, we've gotten offers on just because of our strong networking. And then we're also the most innovative real estate company. This is this was a study done by him, and so we have the technology. I'm not going to read through all of this, but just know that we push these out to 350 online search engines. We're able to network on pretty much any website. Um, every single internet inquiry on your property would come directly to me or another member of my team, whether it be a sign call or somebody just clicks on one of our, Facebook links or Google links, or they just call the number on the flyer. We have 5 agents. All 5 of our phones will ring at the same time, so you never have to worry about a prospect's call being missed. We do have a micro team of several agents, including, like I said, a stager and a director of marketing and a transaction coordinator. We are much stronger as a team than any individual agent. No, I have a family. I'm not always able to answer the phone or respond to emails quickly, but there's been multiple times where I'll get a text from Teresa and she would say, we got this contact, or from Kevin, our team leader, we got this contact, so and so needs more information. I already went ahead and responded. So they're able to respond sometimes faster than I am. The other way around is why I'm able to help my team as well. Knowledge base, I don't know everything, but I believe I'm surrounded with enough people where I can find any answer out within a matter of minutes to any question. So I hope I come across as humble. I don't know everything. That's why I surround myself with really smart people. Reliability. You'll have several phone numbers of people on our team. I'm pretty quick. If I'm with a client, I'm on the phone. I can't answer obviously, but I'll respond with a text and I'll call back as soon as possible. Um, if it's an emergency, you'll have several other phone numbers, people that you can call. And then, of course, our track record. You can't really argue with that. I love Keller Williams. I'm happy to work with them. Several members of my family work with them, and it's been a blessing to be a part of this. We're worldwide. This is important for luxury listings because uh, we're going to let everyone around the world know. Yes, we do know the luxury market is much smaller, However, percentage-wise of international buyers, there are a significant percentage of international buyers looking in the luxury range. So business could be taking them from India or South America or South Africa or somewhere in Europe. We want to be there um, and make it easy for them to find the house that they're looking for. KW.com, again with the website, 2.6 million unique visitors a month. Um, we're just there to give them the answers, to get them on the phone, to get them to your house. And we found that having a strong website is obviously it's not just important, but it's necessary. It's a means of survival in 2018. These are our awards for 2018. You can go back to 17 and years before that. We have a lot more in the years past, but these are just our most recent. Currently, we are rated the number one franchise with our agent count, closed units, and sales volume. I guess nobody cares about how many agents that we have, but when you look at how many houses we've closed on and what our sales volume is, we are far surpassing our competition. So, okay, this is important. These market stats, these were updated at the end of last year. 95% of buyers are going to buy a house that they see online. And that's important because your online presence as a house, and I'm talking about the actual listing of the house, you cannot compromise with that. Yes, the real estate agent, that's the next important thing. Only 11% of buyers are finding houses without an agent. Usually these are investors. But we found if we just focus on these top four, 52% are buying a house after visiting an open house, not necessarily that open house of the house that's selling, but going to one open house and then an agent redirecting them or helping them find another open house. So just these four alone keep us above 50%. We do, obviously yard signs, you'd be crazy not to do that. We do take a lot of pride in our videos. I can be happy to send you more videos of what we do to list our properties. Home builder, you start getting to newspapers, those aren't quite as effective, especially for individual listings. You're not going to see that anymore. Billboards, you will never see an individual listing on a billboard or television. You might see an agent. When this is a survey done with home buyers, the most important thing is, you named it, the property photos. That's why we pay money for professional photography and videography, because we know that most buyers will look at a house, and if they're not pleased with the quality of the photos, they're far less likely to take another step toward buying that house. After that is detailed property info. We talked about hand-carved doors from South America. We need to put that somewhere where the buyer's going to see that. We talked about imported marble tiles from Italy. Those are important details. Probably the best place to put those are on the pictures. So we'll take pictures of all those features, and I'll need your help with this. I'm not going to lie, but we'll take pictures of each individual feature, and on the pictures we'll have the description. So we found that that's important. And then you can see, neighborhood info, virtual tours. These are all very important too, but you got to hit these, if you know the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, you got to hit these top ones before you can focus on. I mean, videos are great, but if you're not doing the good photos and detailing your property information, it doesn't matter. This is some buyer statistics, how they're using their agents. Obviously, negotiation is 24% of what they find valuable. Helping with paperwork, it says 7%. To me, it's like 99%. Everybody needs help with paperwork. Nobody wants to do it. That's why we have a transaction coordinator on our team. This is a little bit about how buyers found their agents. We'll talk about pricing real quick. I'm sure this is not going to be a surprise to you. It's important to price the house right. You don't want to price it too high, and you don't want to price it too low. And it takes a lot of work to really come up with that price, and we're not always right. about that. So we want to be prepared to respond quickly. Pricing your pricing your property competitively will generate the most activity from agents and buyers. If you price it too high, it may make it necessary to drop the price below the market value to compete with new well-priced listings. So when somebody sees a house that's been sitting on the market for 6 months, the first thing that they ask is, what is wrong with that house? When they see that other houses are selling between 7 and 30 days, they're automatically going to assume that something's wrong with the house. And so that isn't always necessarily the case. Um, you cannot you cannot price the house based on what you paid, because that's not a factor anymore. What you need, that's not a factor anymore. What you want, what the neighbor says, what another agent says, um, or the cost to rebuild that house. So none of those factors are really going to matter. The only factor that matters is what similar houses in that area have sold for recently. So that's important. So we always want to price ahead of the market. If we feel the market's moving up or moving down, we need to price ahead of the market. In a seller's market, the home values are rising. And so if the seller wants to price ahead of the market may go up enough to make that price attractive for buyers. But you can't guarantee that. You can't guarantee that the market's going to go up. We have significant reason to believe that the market's actually moving in the other direction. Um, but you don't know history until it's past, right? So in a buyer's market, sellers fall behind a market with falling home values. This is even more dangerous than the seller's market, because if the market keeps dropping, you end up chasing it, and you never get what you want. So you really have to significantly adjust below that line right there. The right price is absolutely the most important. Properly generates the most interest when it first hits the market. So in your area, in Brazelwood, we feel, we see a lot of houses selling under 21 days, 30 days, and then you see a gap, and then there's more houses selling above 100 days. We got to stay below that gap. If we find that a third of the houses are selling in 21 days or less, we've got to price it right and sell in the same time frame that those other houses are selling. So remember, if we want to be competitive, if we want to compete, we have to be competitive. The buy market has a short attention span. I didn't ask you this question. I'm just assuming that you had more showings uh, closer to the beginning of when you listed your house than recently. That's why we say pricing your home right the first time is key, because we want to price to attract buyers, and we know that an overpriced house will not sell, even if it's just a little bit overpriced. We want to generate offers before the market moves on to newer listings. So that's that in a nutshell. I hope that was helpful. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but I just wanted to make sure that you understood our our philosophy and our mentality and our approach to that. Um, you know, we we really take this very seriously. Our goal is to sell your house in a fast amount of time and to sell for the most money possible. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking some time out just to listen to what I have to say. And feel free to call me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.